All right, here we go. Why did I clap? I didn't need to do the clap. But anyway, hello again. This is going to be a little monthly writing progress update videos I'm doing. Just to sort of little diary just to show how I'm getting along with things and how my writing has been going as such, if any of you are interested. If not, then don't watch it. I'm not your dad. I don't control you. Just, whatever you wish. So I was going to do one last month for February, but I forgot. So I'm doing it now for both February and March. So, yeah. So main things I've been working on these past couple of months is not my main work in progress, that being the project of Control. That in and of itself, I think, might be changing the title of it, because the title Control, I think probably some of you would be thinking is quite it's quite vague and nondescript, and just sort of simplistic one-word titles can work, but for me, I don't think it's necessarily going to work. I mean, it might. I don't know. It depends how it turns out to be in the future. The sort of new working title I've got is The Blue Sun, which is the name of the main sort of amulet, the made magical artifact that is sort of the main MacGuffin of the story. So that's mainly what I'll be going for with it. We'll see how it goes with later. But as for the actual writing itself, I've been mainly working on, so it's in between drafts of the main project. I've been working on a little sci-fi short story called A Tomb with an Exit, which centers around kind of alternative reality, virtual reality kind of stuff, Matrix-esque kind of things, like digital immortality. It's just a short thing for just 20,000 words, and I've only finished it just recently, at least this first draft of it. Had quite a bit of trouble with it, to be honest. That's mainly just due down to probably just a lack of plotting and planning on my behalf. Still trying to work out my methods, what works best for me. But I have made progress in that side of things as well, which I'll get onto that in a moment. But the overall word count, what I've achieved thus far. So February is just over 5,700 words, and March was 7,236 words. So not as much as I was kind of hoping for, in least in my sort of monthly targets. I'm aiming for at least 500 words a day, for roughly 5-6 days a week, and I've been sort of falling shy of that. So February was averaging probably around 438 words a day, which sounds not too bad, not too far off the target, but I only got writing down for 13 out of all of the available days, because again, busy with other things. And with March, it's only 402 words a day on average. I did write for more days in general, 18 days in total, but yeah, it was a slow month, and pretty it was quite difficult to really kind of get the words onto the paper as it was. I was really struggling with this story, which again is just is on me for not really planning it out, plotting it out properly. But the other main projects I sort of started, because I got bored of the main one, was I've started outlining a completely different novel, a completely new one, just because I needed something else to just direct my mind towards. So the next planned novel, full-length novel after I finished Control, I've started outlining that one already, because that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, a significant part of the writing, the word count completed in March, was actually dedicated to that outline. I think I did a decent enough job with it. It's still a work in progress, obviously, but sometimes it's good to just have something else to direct your mind to if you're getting stuck on a particular project. Try and shift focus onto something else. It can make it flow easier, and then when you come back to your original one, it can sort of flow easier as well. And I did manage to complete at least this first draft of this sci-fi short story, which is something. Yeah. So yeah, it's not really much to speak about in this. In these past couple of months so far, hopefully things should pick up progress-wise a little bit more next month, as I'm gonna start the third draft of Control, or the Blue Sun, or whatever I feel like calling it at the time. And hopefully then it should be shifting forwards and stuff. And yes, actually, there's just one last thing. I will speak about sort of my findings with trying to work out a new outlining process, because admittedly, oh shit, so I'll leave that for now. So my main outlining process I used for Control was sort of ill-defined. Again, when I started writing that story, I didn't know you could plot and plan things out, so I just thought you just sat down and wrote it. Some people can do that, I cannot. So I worked out, got my own little document sort of outlining the plot, and even then there were still some like holes and gaps and things in terms of sort of like the light on the substance side of things, which again I've been working out with this new outlining process, which for this next novel, which I'm calling Never Human. So I've got sort of a synopsis, roughly 500 or so words, then a point-by-point plot point breakdown. So Act 1, bullet point, bullet points are roughly like a chapter or so per bullet point. Then character profiles below that for all the major characters that take part in the story. So going off kind of a lot of the advice I've seen online. For those familiar with Abby Emmons, her videos speaking about sort of how to outline and how to develop characters, speaking about their fears and their misbeliefs and their goals. Those three distinct elements, trying to work them into the character profiles. Because the profiles, all they are is just sort of the name, the age, and just sort of a rough kind of description of who they are, what they're like, and kind of what they're trying to achieve in the narrative. And beyond that, so the main bullet point plot things hasn't been completed yet, but then past that is going to be a draft 0, which is basically going to be me writing a very heavily abridged, summarized version of the story. If any of you know how a 0 draft works, it's basically a kind of thing that should help streamline things once you get to the actual proper first draft. So hopefully that works. But yeah, anyway, that's how things are starting off. Hoping to do these videos monthly, as you can tell. So this should be a nice little diary of sorts to see how things develop, or if they do develop at all. And hopefully my chair's not completely fucked. I think it is. I've got to go sort that out. But anyway, I'll see you next week for the next video then. Bye-bye.